Welcome to Agent of Screen, the first and the only place for movie reviews live at the cinema. I am your boy Miles, aka Crocodile Dundee, and I'm here to bring to you a spoiler-free review of the Netflix film, The Platform. Now, unless you've been living under a rock like Patrick in Bikini Bottom, you would know that because of this coronavirus global pandemic, all cinemas across the country, across the world in fact, are closed, and as a result there are no theatrical releases, and all the scheduled theatrical releases like Quiet Place 2, Mulan, No Time to Die, Black Widow have all been postponed until further notice. However, there are still movies and series coming out on streaming services. So long story short, despite the lockdown, we, the Agents of Screen, will still be delivering regular content. Which brings me to why I'm here. A spoiler-free review of the Netflix film, The Platform. But what is The Platform? The Platform is a Spanish thriller, horror type movie. It isn't subtitles. I know how some of you feel about subtitles, but stop being ignorant. But this film is about a large tower-like prison where the inmates are fed once a day. And how these inmates are fed is that all the food, and you have bare delicacies, bare culinary delights, curry this, bake that, roast this, desserts, wines, all of it is on one platform, which starts on level 1 and gradually goes down. So the people on each level only get the food that is left over from the levels above. So if you're on level 1, you get a pick of everything untouched. But if I'm on level 10, for example, my chicken might have been bitten. I might get a bone, you might get nothing, and if you get nothing, how do you eat for that day? So that's basically what the film is about. The film is directed by a director called Galder Gaztelu-Urrutia. If I've butchered that name, I apologize. Lo siento. Hey, you didn't know I could speak Spanish, do you? You didn't know I could do that. Me llamo Malcito, aka Crocodile Dundee. If you didn't understand that, I'll put that in the subtitles. But let's get to the review. I'm going to tell you my first impression, what I liked, what I didn't like, and if it is worth your time to check this out on Netflix. So my first impressions, off the bat, you should see this film. No long, look in my eyes, I'm not even blinking. You should see this film. I blinked, didn't I? But you should see this film, and here's why. What did I like? I think it's a very creative concept. Like, I originally logged onto Netflix looking for something else, and that was literally, when I logged into Netflix, that was literally the first thing that I saw. It popped up like a unwanted erection, and at that point you have to deal with it. How do you deal with it? Do you leave it for later? Do you ignore it? But I saw the synopsis, and the synopsis grabbed me, and not only that, but about 10 seconds of the trailer played, and I was like, this looks intriguing. Would I take this gamble? But the gamble does pay off. Now, this isn't the first film about the have and have-nots. However, how they go about it, their method is extremely creative, and I applaud them for that. I also like the grittiness of the film. It was like very visceral. It's an 18, so bear that in mind. It's gory, it's visceral, and visually it can be arresting and even disturbing at times. I gave you the premise, so you have to even imagine what would take place in a prison like that. Also, this film raises some very poignant messages throughout. I don't want to say too much in case I spoil, but it is very symbolic. They raise political themes. It's reflective on the society as well. And what I will say, is one of those films that when it's ended, it definitely leaves with you. It definitely resonates with you. It definitely makes you ask certain questions, not only about the film, but about yourself, about what would I do in this situation? If I was on level 1, would I act this way? What about if I was on level this or level 10? Or what would I do then? It really would, at least for me anyway. I would also say the first 30 minutes of the film are super strong, engaging, keeps you locked into the film because they're introducing you to all the concepts, introducing you to the prison, letting you know how everything works, and so many things happen that sets up the story, but they've done it excellently, and that carries on for the rest of the film. But that first 30, woof. And speaking of strong, the acting performances, especially from the two main characters. The actor's name is, I ain't even gonna pretend like I know his name. Ivan Masike plays a character called Goreg. The other main character, who I think for me personally stole the show, the actor's name is called, again, Zorion Eguilior. You see that Spanish again? Jeez, vamos, Feliz Navidad and that. But he stole the show for me. When you watch the film, you'll see why. But that is it for my positives for this film. In terms of things that I didn't like, I'd say it's two things. The The first thing I'd say is that I would have liked some more backstory for some of the main characters, just to understand certain motivations and just to feel for his character a bit more, even though the actor is able to translate from the script to make you care about the character. But I think that would have been even more realized if they gave him more backstory. But my biggest gripe about this film is how the film ended. It's difficult for me to explain without spoiling, so I won't. But what I'll say is this style of ending I'm just not a fan of in general. And after this film, you know, when it immediately ended, I was like, how could it end like that? Like, I hate it. But once I had a chance to think about it, once I had a chance for my brain to kind of marinate in the gravy of the story, that's a sick phrase, boy, off the top as well. Yeah, once I had a chance for my brain to kind of marinate in the story of the film, I could see why they ended it that way and what that possibly meant. And while I appreciate that, it still felt like a slap in the face, to be honest. It took away from the film a little bit for me, but I still thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Which brings me to my score. My score for El Hoyo, aka The Platform, is a 8 out of 10. And strong. Foreign film strikes again. Speaking of foreign film, I think that people who like the film Parasite and who like especially Snowpiercer, if you like Snowpiercer, both films by the way are by Bong Joon-ho. If you're a fan of those films, you would definitely like this. And what is Snowpiercer, you ask? No, it's not a winter themed porn. No, I know, you know, OnlyFans and they're releasing stuff for free because of the whole, you know, pandemic. But Snowpiercer is a film by Bong Joon-ho. Go check that. I think it is still on Netflix. You might be able to catch it on Netflix. If not, it's on TV. If not, you can catch it online somewhere. It's definitely there. And I can't wait for more people to actually watch this film. I know this is spoiler free, but I can't wait for more people to watch this film so I can actually talk to someone about it. And there's so much to discuss, especially in this time now with this whole quarantine and, you know, the pandemic and people hoarding stuff and being overly greedy for no reason at all and creating a problem for everyone else. It's not only relevant in general, but it's especially relevant right now. So when you have seen the film, come in the comments below, and we will talk about it, or even hit me up at Miles Miller on Instagram or at Agents of Screen on Instagram as well, or on Twitter as well. Let's have a dialogue about it because this is a really good film. So the question has been answered since the start. Should you see this film? Yes, you should. But I'm gonna leave it there. Keep it short and sweet. I have been your boy Miles, and if you like this video, make sure you like, share and subscribe, all that good stuff, all that YouTube nonsense. Until the next video, which will be coming very soon. Peace.